Lo, we inspire thee as we inspired Noah and the prophets after him, as we inspired Abraham and Ishmael and Isaac and Jacob and the tribes, and Jesus and Job and Jonah and Aaron and Solomon, and as we imparted unto David the Psalms.
The verse we've just heard is from chapter 4 of the Quran. In the verse, God is affirming to humanity that Muhammad is indeed the recipient of a divine guidance, just as Noah, Abraham, and the rest of the prophets. However, some Christians and Jews today don't believe that Muhammad was a prophet and the covenant that God made with Abraham. And since the Quran is not their book of authority, in this video I'm going to show you that the book you're holding in your hands contains the name off the seal of prophethood, the Prophet Muhammad. As known, the Old Testament was preserved in the Hebrew language. In the 5th chapter of the Shir HaShirim, which is one of the 5 Megillat or sacred scrolls that are part of the Hebrew Bible, or for short the Song of Solomon, as Christians know it today. That chapter is discussing someone. Jews will say it is discussing Solomon, while Christians will say it is discussing Jesus. Considering this is the Songs of Solomon, it would seem logical that it is discussing Solomon. The verses, describing this mystery man, have the narrator's speech conjugated in the feminine, meaning it is a woman who is describing this man. so it is possible that it is one of Solomon's wives discussing her husband Solomon. However, Christians assert that Jesus is being discussed, and that the chapter is describing a man who was not yet alive at that point. A prophecy. In reading the English translation of Song of Songs 5:16, it finishes the description by saying, "He is altogether lovely," but what most people don't know is that the name of that man was given in the original Megillah. Here is verse 16, and how it is written in ancient Hebrew, before introducing the vowels, in the 8th century. From the Hebrew Bible, on scripturetext.com. Here is the word in question. This word is made of 4 letters.
Mem, Het, Mem, Dalet.
Now when reading the word as it is written in its original form, with no vowels, it can be read as Muhammad, which is the name of the Muslim prophet, or as Mamad with no A after the H. According to Ben Yehuda's Hebrew English Dictionary, it is correctly pronounced as Muhammad, not Mamad. So how we're going to know for sure if it's pronounced as Muhammad, the Muslim prophet, or as Mamad, a random Hebrew word? The only way is to give the verse to a rabbi and say to him, "Please read." Here is the Song of Songs 5:16, and how it is read by a rabbi from a Hebrew Jewish site. Please notice, the im in Hebrew is a plural of respect.
Hiko mamtakim vechullo mahamadim ze dodi vezer'i benot Yerushalayim. Hiko mamtakim vechullo mahamadim ze dodi vezer'i benot Yerushalayim.
Coming out from the darkness, there are no other gods but God, and Muhammad is his messenger. Let the world hear.
Hiko mamtakim vechullo mahamadim ze dodi vezer'i benot Yerushalayim. Hiko mamtakim vechullo Muhammad
sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My brothers, from the battle of Badr, the Muslims are 313, the kuffar are 1,000. The battle takes place and the kuffar are crushed. From the battle of Uhud, the Muslims are 700, the kuffar are 3,000. Yet again the commander is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The battle takes place and the kuffar are crushed. From the battle of Ahzab, the Muslims are 2,000, the kuffar are 24,000. Yet again the commander is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The battle takes place and the kuffar are crushed. From the battle of Tabuk, the Muslims are 30,000, the kuffar are several 100,000. Yet again the commander is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When the kuffar see Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his army coming, they disperse and they make a U-turn and they run away.
We sent thee not save as a mercy for the peoples. Say, it is only inspired in me that your God is one God. Will ye then surrender unto him?
He was an unlettered prophet. He was a mercy and a messenger. He was a mercy to mankind. He was a great favor. He was sent with an irrefutable truth. He was a man dealing gently with all people. Never in his life did he ever lift his hand to hit any human being. Ever. Not a servant, not a wife, not a child, not a friend. He was a mercy to the world. He was the best example to follow. He was the last prophet of mankind. He was sent to all the mankind and the jinn. He was victorious over all systems, and he was created on an exalted standard. Never drank alcohol throughout his life. Never used any kind of intoxicant. He never committed fornication or adultery. He never looked upon any woman with lust in his entire life. This was the manner of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His tolerance, his mercy, his patience, his integrity. Feeding the poor, visiting the sick, discharging the army, acting as a statesman, acting as an arbiter, sewing his clothes, washing his house, shopping for the food, doing all the things that you and I do, and at night standing in prayer for 4 or 5 hours at a time. And in the day, fighting the battles, discharging the armies, giving the ahkam and the rulings, explaining the Quran, instructing the people in behavior. How could a man do all of that and stand 4 or 5 hours at night at one time? What kind of human being could that be? It was a messenger. It was a prophet. This was a man with a message. This was a man in this world, but always thinking about the hereafter. Oh Muslims, oh non-Muslims, think about this kind of man. Have you heard of such a man? Have you ever seen such a man? Have you read about such a man?